Yo, it's your boy, I'm Smoke Back in a Madden video. Today's video, we have another rebuild for you guys. In this video, we're going to be rebuilding the Cleveland Browns. Now, the Cleveland Browns do have a little bit of a rough recent history, or just history in general, if you really want to insult the franchise, but we are going to try to rewrite history and get a Super Bowl victory for the Cleveland Browns. They're one of the teams that without a Super Bowl. Let's go over their active roster, though, before we get into the specifics. Jameis Winston, starting quarterback. Nick Chubb. Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver 1. Definitely could be a lot better. I like Jameis Winston as a guy. I would love to go grab a beer with Jameis Winston. He seems like the kind of guy for that, but don't really know about having him as my starting quarterback just because of the inconsistency. We do finish the season 3-14. Weren't able to do much past the trade deadline, obviously. So weren't able to do really much. 3-14 honestly helps our draft capital, which I'm honestly more worried about because we need a lot of holes to fill. Jameis Winston finished this year with 2,614 passing yards, 17 passing touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 59 completion percentage. Deshaun Watson, 1,141 yards, 5 passing touchdowns and 3 interceptions with a 63 completion percentage. Rushing is Nick Chubb with 657 rushing yards with 6 rushing touchdowns and 1 fumble. Jerome Ford with 422 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, no fumbles. Jameis Winston, 200 rushing yards. On the receiving side, we got Jerry Jeudy with 1,031 receiving yards and 5 receiving touchdowns. Elijah Moore with 643 receiving yards, 2 receiving touchdowns. And David Njoku with 5 receiving touchdowns. On the defensive side of the ball, Grant Delpit is our leader in tackles, and Devin Bush, Martin Emerson Jr. Myles Garrett, obviously, we're going to hope to keep him as long as we can as he finished the season with 18 tackles for loss. And he led our team with sacks with 13. And then J.O.K. with 3. And Denzel Ward was the only person to get 2 or more. So the first year we are going to be losing Nick Chubb. Now, I know this really does suck. And I don't want to really lose Nick Chubb, but think about it. Okay, he's 29 years old. He is going to be expensive, which we already have an expensive person on our roster, which is Deshaun Watson, which we're going to try to get rid of him, obviously. Not that 29 is old, but I swear in Madden, if you are 31 or older, this game just acts like you don't exist. Like, the regression just hits so hard. Anyway, we did get Nick Chubb, but you know who we did get? We got one of the generational prospects, Travis Hunter, playing both sides of the ball. He plays wide receiver and quarterback, obviously. Ignore how it says he's from the College of Miami. I got the draft class from the community center. Obviously, it's just a typo. Then we got Jalen Milroe to be quarterback because we're obviously going to try to get rid of Deshaun Watson. And Travis Hunter won't play both sides of the ball for us because I don't even think you could really do that in Madden. But yeah, he'll play receiver, which I think he is better at. Then we got a middle linebacker in the 3rd round, but Jalen Milroe, he'll probably still be there in real life in the 2nd round, probably. Early 2nd round, I feel like he'll probably be there. Then we got, middle linebacker in the 3rd round. Then we got a quarterback in the 3rd round. We had 2 picks in the 3rd round. Then we had Jimmy Marsh, wide receiver in the 4th round. Then we got a running back, defensive tackle, center, and tight end. And we were able to trade Deshaun Watson, and we only got a 4th round pick, but I don't care. I want to get rid of him. He is expensive, and he is not good. Hopefully, in real life, Browns fans hope that he can turn it around. But as of right now, in Madden, he is a 71 overall quarterback that has a cap hit of $71 million per year. That is outrageous. And then, no, I'm not doing that. That sounds like something you would tell your friends in 2 truths and a lie. And they'd be like, dude, no way. No way a 71 overall quarterback gets a 71 overall quarterback gets $71 million. Anyway, the first year we were able to make playoffs, finishing 10-7, and we are going to face the New York Jets. I'm honestly really this shocked it took us this fast to make playoffs because we really do have a lot of spots to fill. I guess Travis Hunter did really good in the simulation. At least I'm hoping for his development. Let's go ahead and check the stats. Jalen Milroe, too. Yeah, his development's really important, too. Jalen Milroe actually didn't really do that crazy. He had 3,296 yards, 25 passing touchdowns, 16 interceptions with a 69 completion percentage, passer rating of 95.9. Jerome Ford as a leading running back. It's another reason why we kind of gave up on next show. Because Jerome Ford's already kind of good. Jerome Ford with 1,009 rushing yards. Cedric Tillman was the leading receiver with 959 yards and 8 receiving touchdowns. Travis Hunter only 738 yards, 6 receiving touchdowns. That is definitely not what I expected from the Heisman winner, but hopefully he can get over that. Jerry Jeudy with 66 receptions and 710 yards with 3 receiving touchdowns. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, leader in tackles with 137 tackles for loss. Davion Tomlinson. Myles Garrett with 10.5 sacks. And Denzel Ward with 7 receptions. Actually pretty good. Pretty solid for Denzel Ward. Grant Delpit got 4 as well. And then JOK got 2. And then Greg Newsome got 1. And then so did Quan Thornhill. We were first round exits despite being the 4th seed. We lost to the 5th seed. New York Jets in the first round. A final score of 18-26. So it only took us 1 year to make playoffs, which I'm really surprised by, but we were first round exits. We faced Carson Beck. Carson Beck was a New York Jet. In the game they eliminated us in, he had 298 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. Jalen Murrow, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interceptions with 250 yards. Rushing, Breece Hall, 73 yards and a rushing touchdown. Carson Beck also got a rushing touchdown as well. Jerome Ford, not really that great of a game for Jerome Ford, only 22 rushing yards off 11 attempts. Devontae Adams stole the league with 103 yards and a touchdown. Travis Hunter, 4 receptions, 68 yards and a touchdown. Cedric Tillman, 6 receptions, 101 yards and a touchdown. All right, this is what we're going to be losing. We're going to be losing Jerome Ford. He's not interested in signing with us. So I tried keeping him, make him our starting running back, and he's not interested in us. So he's telling us to kick rocks. And all right, I guess we got to find a running back because I guess they just don't want to stay in Cleveland. Anyway, this is a good amount of people we signed right here. So we got Rashid Walker, the left tackle, help us out. He's only 26 years old, and he's already 82 overall at left tackle, one of the most important positions in the NFL. Tyler Algier, he is pretty solid, and he an 81 running back will definitely take it. Defensive tackle, DJ Reader just to help us out. Jalen Watson, quarterback, just to help out the depth chart a little bit. And we needed a kicker, so we got Tyler Bass. And then I also got Keaton Mitchell to be the backup running back because both of our running backs left. I mean, we really need some running backs. This is what we got in the draft. It is auto-generated, obviously, since it's 2 years down the road. Taylor Woodward, a strong safety. Then we got a middle linebacker, Nick Winson. Then we got Adrian Nichols, left outside linebacker. Then another safety, but this time a free safety. Right end, left end, right outside linebacker, right tackle, and then a running back in the 7th round. Highest overall who we got is a 74 overall in that 2nd round with the middle linebacker. All right, this is how we finished in the second year, technically, since the first year was only like 3 games of simulation. But anyway, the 2026 season, we finished 7-10. We missed playoffs, so we just were the 4th seed, and now we missed playoffs. I really don't quite understand it, but that's how Madden simulation works sometimes, man. Anyway, Jalen Milroe, let's see how he did. 3,616 yards, 36 passing touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Proved a lot this year. 72 completion percentage and 112.1 passer rating. He was only sacked 20 times. That's really good. Shout out to our offensive line right there. Tyler Algier was 739 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. He did have a fumble. Then Keaton Mitchell with 447 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, and a fumble as well. Jalen Milroe ran the ball a little bit, 275 yards. Travis Hunter, he even ran 9 times. So, all right, Travis Hunter. Okay, this is a little bit of a better season. Actually, a lot better than what he did previously, but still, I was expecting a little bit more, but I won't be greedy. 79 receptions for Travis Hunter, 1,027 yards, 8 receiving touchdowns. Cedric Tillman, 922 yards and 10 receiving touchdowns. And Jerry Jeudy got 11 receiving touchdowns, leading the team in receiving touchdowns. JOK leading the team in tackles with 126. The rookie, Andrew Nichols, left outside linebacker, was 2nd. Then Myles Garrett with 14 tackles for loss, leading the team. Myles Garrett again leading the team with sacks. And then JOK and Kevin Byard, they both lead the team with 3 interceptions. All right, this is everybody. We're going to be losing Cedric Tillman, even though he's been absolutely a dog for us. He has really no interest. He's a low overall anyway, but he has been balling out for us despite his low overall. But yeah, we're losing Cedric Tillman. He's not really interested, and plus, I would rather save the cap space for big name free agents. We didn't really get it this offseason. As you see right here, we got J.R. Brown, the free safety, to help us out with the safety. I know we did just draft a safety, but he's not really looking that great because, it was a later round pick. And then we got Trey Tucker kind of help us out with the receiver. With the receiver we just lost with Cedric Tillman. Trey Tucker is 78 overall, and he's 26. We promise you we will definitely be getting more free agents later. But this is a big trade right here. So we're giving up our first round pick in the 2027 season for cornerback Jalen Johnson. I'm honestly kind of shocked they did that. At 88 overall, I feel like right now he's a 26, 27 overall quarterback. He's still on contract for like 2 more years, and he's fairly cheap. Jalen Johnson, welcome to the Cleveland Browns. Absolutely, I'll do that trade. All right, in the draft, we got Elton Morrison, a right guard. In the second round, he's a 73 overall. Then we got a tight end, Deontay White, 70 overall. Daryl Franklin, a 71 overall defensive tackle. Then we got a quarterback in the 5th round. And then we got a corner in the 6th. And then the 7th, we got another receiver. Not really anything too great for this draft class. Maybe Elton Morrison might get some reps, but I don't think so. I feel like we got our guard position locked up. Anyway, we did a trade. If you're wondering how we got Chad Awuzie or Malachi Blackman, it's from free agency. I just did the sign and trade method. If you don't know what that is, you just go to free agency, obviously, and it's like the low 80s, 70 overalls. They have a decent amount of trade value, so you just go ahead and you sign them. And then you go ahead and try to flip him to a team. So basically, we just gave up a 3rd-round pick for Christian Barmore. In my eyes, we got Christian Barmore. We needed help on the other side of Myles Garrett. Anyway, we finished the season with the playoffs. Go into the playoffs with a 10-7 record. We're going to be facing the Jacksonville Jaguars in the wild card round. They also have a 10-7 record, so pretty even match there. Let's go and check the end of the season stats. 3,787 yards for Jalen Milroe, 28 passing touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Could have been a little bit better, but he did have a 74 completion percentage, which is really good. Tyler Algier, 964 yards on the ground, 15 rushing touchdowns, no fumbles. That's amazing for Tyler Algier. Travis Hunter, 954 yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. Trey Tucker actually did really good, 929 yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. Jerry Jeudy, 898 yards with 9 receiving touchdowns. David Njoku still on the team, and he's still doing really solid, 702 yards and 4 receiving touchdowns. Tyler Algier, 184 yards. All right, leading in tackles was Kenan Gentry. He was the 3rd-round pick not too long ago, about 2 or 3 years ago. J.O.K., 2nd in the team with tackles. Then Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit, Jalen Johnson, the new face on our defense, supposed to be one of our franchise guys. Tackles for loss was Hall Jr., and then Myles Garrett, then Christian Barmore. Sacks was Myles Garrett, then it was Kendall Gentry, and then Mike Hall Jr. Interceptions was Denzel Ward with 5, then J.O.K. with 4. Then we got Gentry with 3, and then Martin Emerson with 1. Jalen Johnson only had 1, but it is whatever. Picks aren't always everything. Anyway, we were able to make it all the way to the AFC Championship in the 2027 season. So that's pretty impressive. We did end up losing to the Baltimore Ravens, and of course, it's the divisional rival we lost to. And it's Lamar Jackson. I mean, it's not easy to beat Lamar, and we weren't able to do it. Lamar with a passer rating of 140.1 against us, 2 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Jalen Milroe, he had a passing touchdown. Braylon Allen is a Baltimore Raven with 47 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns against us. Lamar, 42 rushing yards. Jalen Milroe, 26 rushing yards. Keaton Mitchell is the one who got the rushing touchdown for us. And then let's go and check the receiving stats. Rashad Bateman with 134 yards. Jerry Jeudy got a touchdown, 107 yards. Travis Hunter did pretty solid with 6 receptions and 70 yards. Defense is Roquan Smith, leading in tackles with 11 in the game. Tackles for loss is Nate Wiggins. And then, you could see the stars. You could tell he's auto-generated from that thing when they got those little stars. Anyway, this is the big free agency I promised you guys. All right, we're finally getting a running back. Tyler Algier has been good for us, but when you got a chance to go out and get Jahmyr Gibbs, a 96 overall, 26 years old, already superstar dev, absolutely. And we need defensive tackle. You know who we get? We get Aleem McNeil. 2 Detroit Lions right there, and 2 big pieces of their future. We got a stud defensive tackle. We got a stud running back. They're young, and we didn't overpay it. I don't think we overpaid. I mean, we still have a good amount of cap room. All right, in the first round, we got a tight end, a 76 overall. He's probably going to be starting over David Njoku. David Njoku is not doing bad, but he's going to start regressing soon. Then we got Malik St. Louis, a right guard at 73 overall. Then we got a free safety at 67 overall. And then a quarterback in the 5th, and then a running back in the 6th, and then another quarterback in the 7th. They really won't see any playing time. Our roster is definitely starting to look stacked, and I wouldn't be shocked if we made playoffs again. And we do. We finished 11-6 facing the New England Patriots in the wild card round. We have an 85 overall team, 83 overall offense, and 89 overall defense. Yeah, our defense actually is pretty nasty. I'm not going to lie. Jalen Johnson, Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, the auto-generated middle linebacker did really well, Kendall Gentry. Anyway, Jalen Milroe, 3,726 passing yards on the year, 28 passing touchdowns, 13 interceptions. That's not that great of a year from touchdown to interception ratio. Jahmyr Gibbs, his first year as a Cleveland Brown, he had 1,099 yards. He was one off from 1,100 yards, 7 rushing touchdowns. He did have a fumble. Jalen Milroe, 426 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Travis Hunter is the leading receiver with 1,094, 9 receiving touchdowns. Jerry Jeudy is still doing good with 815 receiving yards and 4 receiving touchdowns. Trey Tucker with 813 receiving yards with 4 receiving touchdowns. The rookie tight end we just got, he got 4 receiving touchdowns already. Denzel Ward leading attack, or Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, then Adrian Nichols, and then Denzel Ward leading in tackles. Tackles for loss is Aleem McNeil, defensive tackle we just signed. The sacks is Myles Garrett, then Aleem McNeil not too far behind with 12.5. Myles Garrett with 15. Interceptions is Denzel Ward with 3, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah with 2, Jalen Johnson with 2, Adrian Nichols with 1, Jair Brown with 1, Kenny Gently with 1, and Martin Emerson with 1. And we get eliminated in the first round. All right, I was getting really hyped. I mean, I thought we had a really good roster. And we honestly really did. That defense is pretty scary. The auto-generated linebackers of Adrian Nichols and Kenny Gently have been really great. And then our secondary is definitely good too. And our defensive line, I mean, Myles Garrett on the same line with Aleem McNeil is pretty good. Anyway, Jalen Milroe in the postseason game, no passing touchdowns, no interceptions. Caleb Dorsey at running back, auto-generated guy, with 2 rushing touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 48 yards off 13 attempts. Drake May was able to hand us the loss. 8 receptions, 96 yards for Jerry Jeudy. Demario Douglas, 88 yards. Who got the receiving touchdown for the Patriots? It was an auto-generated guy. Let's go check the defense. Leading in tackles was Christian Gonzalez. Jalen Johnson was up there as well. Tackles for loss, Danny Cousins, Myles Garrett. So Danny Cousins again, so he must be good in the simulation for that auto-generated guy. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah was the one with the interception. All right, this is who we drafted, Rodney Watkins, a receiver in the first round, and then we got a corner in the second round. Then we got a middle linebacker in the third, then a center, then another quarterback, then a running back, and then another quarterback. Again, I don't know. When you get into the later years, I mean, it's really hard to find auto-generated people, especially late in the rounds, really do anything. We missed playoffs, and I'm really shocked we missed playoffs because this is a good team. Like, I'm not even just saying that because I built it. I really, like, if I saw someone else's team roster built like this, I'd be like, damn, they're definitely making playoffs. But yeah, we did not. The 9-8 record, we just barely missed playoffs. Let's go ahead and check out the end of the season stats, maybe why we missed playoffs. Jalen Milroe, 3,645 yards, 33 passing touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 71 completion percentage, a rating of a 107.0. He was sacked 29 times. Jahmyr Gibbs with 1,064 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns, 1 fumble. Jalen Milroe with 390 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Keon Mitchell with 249 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns. Trey Tucker ran the ball 9 times. And Travis Hunter ran the ball 3 times. I love how they get receivers in there every now and then. Jerry Jeudy, he's probably an old man in this simulation right now, but he is still leading the team in receiving yards. He's still doing great. 888 receiving yards and then 7 receiving touchdowns. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah leading in tackles with 108. Actually, he was tied with Adrian Nichols, the left outside linebacker that we drafted not too long ago. Myles Garrett leading in tackles for loss with 14. Aleem McNeil with 11, Christian Barmore with 11. Sacks, Myles Garrett only got 8, so maybe Myles Garrett slowly starting to regress. He is still a superstar vet. Dev, I believe, and Denzel Ward led the team with 3 interceptions. We are going to be losing Greg Newsome, and this sucks. I wanted to get him. As you can see, they gave me the option to franchise tag him and Martin Emerson, so I don't like that. We are losing 2 good quarterbacks, and the secondary is very important, especially the quarterback position alone is important. We're going to lose Jair Brown, too. He regressed to a 76 overall, so we got him at an 82, and he already regressed to a 76. So I don't like that at all. We went out, we get a big name, Mason Graham, a defensive tackle. Aleem McNeil is starting to regress as well. Everyone is starting to regress. Aleem McNeil, that was pretty fast for him to regress. But everyone else I do kind of see. And then some people wanted to leave us. So we definitely take a big hit at quarterback. And we don't really address it that well. Just because there was no good quarterbacks in free agency. And we still got Denzel Ward and Jalen Johnson. Okay, that's still a really good duo. All right, we drafted Connor Bentley, right tackle, and then Eddie Craig, free safety, then a right guard of Trey Gonzalez, and then Shelton Wolf, left end, and then Monty Pedersen. And let's see what the best was. Best was 74 overall, right tackle that we got. We made the playoffs in the 2030 season. We're facing the Los Angeles Chargers in the first round. They got us beat on just about everything besides defense. But we do have the better record. That is more important, I guess. We finished 12-5, and the Los Angeles Chargers finished 10-7. Jalen Milroe, this is a great year for Jalen Milroe. Definitely what I've been wanting to see from him. 3,577 yards, 36 passing touchdowns, only 4 interceptions, 72 completion percentage, and a passer rating of 121.8. That is amazing. Amazing passer rating. Jahmyr Gibbs with 1,291 yards on the ground with 11 rushing touchdowns, only 1 fumble in the year. Keaton Mitchell, 349 yards and 7 rushing touchdowns. Jalen Milroe, 328 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. Travis Hunter, 1,066 yards with 11 receiving touchdowns. And then Jerry Jeudy still doing great. He's got to be at least 30 years old. He's still doing good. I mean, some people are just built to last. And Jerry Jeudy might be one of them with 918 yards, 8 receiving touchdowns. Trey Tucker with 620 receiving yards. All right, Kenny Gentry leading the team in tackles with 103. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah with 98. And then Taron Hart, the quarterback we drafted 2 drafts ago. Sacks leading in the team was Myles Garrett, but tied with him as well as Mason Graham, the defensive tackle we just drafted. Adrian Nichols. Aleem McNeil is still doing good with 5 sacks. Okay, he did regress quite a bit, though. In the overall aspect, Kenny Gentry is leading with 5 interceptions, then Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah with 3. We were able to make it to the AFC Championship again, but we lose to the Baltimore Ravens again. The Baltimore Ravens hand us our second L in the AFC Championship. This time, the score was 35-17. They still got Lamar Jackson, and Lamar Jackson is still not letting us advance to the Super Bowl. Lamar with 2 passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Jalen Milroe with 1 passing touchdown, 1 interception. Jahmyr Gibbs, 58 yards and a rushing touchdown. Lamar Jackson also had a rushing touchdown as well with 36 yards. Braylon Allen is still on the Baltimore Ravens, 39 yards. Parker Washington got a receiving touchdown for the Ravens and 73 yards. Brent Hitchcock, the tight end that we took 2 years ago, he got over 60 yards. Jerry Jeudy, 2 receptions and 27 yards. The defensive side of the ball, leading in tackles is Simpson. Tackles for loss was Mason Graham, then Myles Garrett, then Isaiah Pyramid. No sacks in the game at all. Okay, interceptions was Trenton Simpson. And then we finish 6-11 the next year. I didn't show you guys the draft because it is starting to get pretty late in the rebuild, and I don't want to make this video super long for you guys. And honestly, I don't think we had that many draft picks anyway. But 6-11, I don't know how we finished 6-11 after just doing that, but all right. Jalen Milroe, 3,624 passing yards, 29 passing touchdowns, 9 interceptions, a completion percentage of 73%, passer rating of 109.3. Jahmyr Gibbs with 1,100 yards right on the dot, and 10 rushing touchdowns and 1 fumble. Jalen Milroe, 358 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Travis Hunter with 1,121 yards. He averaged 14.2 yards per reception, and he had 12 receiving touchdowns. Jerry Jeudy with 8 receiving touchdowns, 827 yards. Hitchcock with 741 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. Rodney Watkins with 5 receiving touchdowns, 702 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs with 115 yards and a receiving touchdown. Kenny Janley leading the team with tackles again with 134. Then JOK with 95. And then we got Mason Graham up there as well. Tackles for loss. Daryl Franklin, Adrian Nichols. Then we got Mason Graham with 14 tackles for loss. We got Shelton Wolf with 13. Mason Graham leading in sacks. And then Daryl Franklin. Looks like Myles Garrett was injured this year, I believe. And then Nate Wiggins, he got 5 interceptions. We did also get Nate Wiggins in free agency. But that is around the end of the rebuild. I did have to not really fully cover the last year because, it did run a little bit long. I don't want to bore you guys to death. I don't want to make the video super long. But I hope you guys understand. And it sucks we weren't able to quite get the job done. If you guys are interested in the Super Bowl winners during this rebuild, it is on the screen right now. The Baltimore Ravens ended up winning last year 35-3. That is quite the embarrassing loss for the Los Angeles Rams. And the Baltimore Ravens were in the Super Bowl again. Damn. This time the New Orleans Saints beat them, though, 29-28. Comment down below who you guys would like to see me rebuild next. Unfortunately, the Browns, they still don't got a Super Bowl victory in their history. Baltimore Ravens won the 2027 season. If you guys are interested in more rebuilds down below, there is a whole playlist on our channel with all kinds of rebuilds. Green Bay Packers with 37-31 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. Baltimore Ravens made the Super Bowl again in 2025. I think that's when they beat us the first time, but the Lions ended up winning. Then a complete Super Bowl rematch, and I think that's the same exact score it was. Maybe I might be quite wrong, but I think the score was 28-25 when the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles first played. Anyway, about to round that video. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. Will be highly appreciated. Comment down below who else we should do. All right, guys. Bye.